Hey, what's up? This is Joe. In this video, I take a stealth camping journey to what's possibly the best ride in Texas, the Three Twisted Sisters. Comprised of Texas Ranch Roads 335, 336, and 337, the Three Twisted Sisters is arguably the best ride in the state. After waiting out a thunderstorm at my buddy Ray's place in San Antonio, I got off to a late start around 12 p.m. and headed up to Medina to the start of the ride. See, that's some kind of an exotic species in there. Can't really tell what it is. There have been several of these with the high fence and sort of exotic animal ranches. You can kind of go out here and hunt. It's too far away. I can't really tell what that is. All right, here we go. This is sort of the start of the Three Twisted Sisters. This is Ranch Road 337. Basically, I'm going to follow this to the town of Leakey and see if I can get my camping situation sorted out first. It looks like there's a state park a little bit south of Leakey. So I'm going to get all that crap off of my bike, go ahead and set up camp, and then get back on the ride. From my starting point in Medina, Texas, the first Twisted Sister took me from east to west on 337 to the so-called city of Campwood. Seeing as I was carrying around 100 pounds of gear on my bike, my initial plan was to make camp and unload some of my stuff at the state park so I could cut loose and do some riding. The fact is that this bike was never intended to carry this type of load, and the difference in handling is night and day when it's unpacked. Little bit of change of plans. Like I said, I was going to head down to Garner State Park and go ahead and set all this stuff up, but I'm already here. It's like another 8 miles out of the way to go that way and then come back and then do the ride. So I'm already warmed up. I feel like doing some riding, so I'm just going to sit here, gas up, get something to eat, get some water. It's getting pretty hot out here. It's probably high 80s, 90 degrees. All right, luckily Ray hooked me up with some of that pickled cueritos, the pickled pork skins, before I left. These things are absolutely awesome, and it's a good thing because I have nothing else to eat. After filling up in Leakey, I got back on 337 and continued the ride to Campwood. Although the handling wasn't as great as it would be unpacked, the Hyper Pro suspension I put on last year made a world of difference. last time I was out here was about 5 years prior on a 1986 BMW Airhead. It was just around the start of the pandemic, and I virtually had the whole place to myself. Fortunately, this time wasn't much different, and aside from an occasional truck or motorcycle, the traffic out here was practically nil. Located a stone's throw from the middle of nowhere, the so-called city of Campwood is really nothing more than a small settlement with a population of around 517. From here, I took a ride on Highway 55 for a few miles before totally blowing past the turn for the second Twisted Sister, Texas Ranch Road 335. All right, here's the second Twisted Sister. Almost rode right past it. Anyway, 335, you get on this 55 for a while, and it's like a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit, so I was just cruising along and almost missed it. This is probably my favorite of the three Twisted Sisters. This is the one that sticks out in my head the most. It's kind of like a roller coaster where you're going up these steep hills and then coming back down the other side and then going up another one. Anyway, it's been a few years since I've been out here, but don't really recollect a lot about the other ones, but I do remember this one. Roller coaster-like nature of this road is one of the things that made it initially stick out to me. One might be tempted here to simply hold the throttle wide open and give her hell, and I ain't mad at you if you do. Just keep in mind you got a lot of bushes on either side and not a lot of shoulder on the road. Along those lines, I was riding at a pretty good clip when I saw a deer bound across the road ahead of me, and as if by magic, my speed subsequently decreased. After about 15 minutes on Highway 41 running east, I made a right onto Texas Ranch Road 336, aka the third Twisted Sister. This particular road is noteworthy for its spectacular views, as well as a lot of free-range cattle. As such, there are a series of cattle grates spread out at various points along the way. Wow, this is probably one of the most scenic out of all the three Twisted Sisters. The views have been just absolutely insane. I would have been stopping and taking more video and pictures and stuff, but there haven't really been a lot of good places to pull off. I'd once again found myself in the town of Leakey, I'd reached the end of the ride. I'd eaten little more that day than that bag full of spicy Mexican pork jelly, so I headed over to the Bent Rim for what's possibly the best damn burger in Texas, and maybe even the world. All right, this is the Bent Rim Grill. Last time I was here about 5 years ago, I swore this was the best burger in the entire country, so hopefully it holds up to the way I remembered it. All right, this is a thing of beauty right here. This is the Fat Bob burger. I think it's got like pepper jack, half a pound Angus beef patty, bacon. The roll is kind of like the star of the show here that makes this whole thing just absolutely insane. But it seems to me like they bake these in-house like every day. All right, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Cheers. Yeah, it's about like I remember it. Totally awesome. Somehow that bun manages to keep its structural integrity while supporting like a half a pound fat dripping juicy piece of meat. That's great. Crunchy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside. Little did I know that it was only after the ride that the real adventure was just about to start. All right, so I got no idea where I'm staying tonight. There's this Garner State Park down the road that I was initially gonna go to. Now it turns out their office closes at 4:30, so I tried to make a reservation online, and it said the only thing for today was like a walk-up. I don't know if I can do that with nobody there, but I guess I'll ride down there and see what I can do. In retrospect, I probably should have stopped by the state park first, although my initial impression was that the office was open until 10 p.m. Sure enough, when I got there, the office was closed. I tried to register a site using the after-hours help desk, but the usual paper envelopes had been replaced by a glitchy computer kiosk, which kept cutting out before I could finish the reservation. Well, shit, this is a beautiful facility, but as far as I can tell, you can't make a reservation after 4 p.m., which sort of puts me in a lurch, because I wasn't able to make one even yesterday, even though everything's available. I guess I'll have to figure something else out. All right, I'm back here hiking around, seeing if there's a way I can sneak into here. The problem is the ground is extremely soft, so I run a pretty high chance of getting stuck, especially packed up the way that I am. I don't know, I'm losing daylight now. Got maybe another hour or so. I've never really had any luck. I've been out here before looking for places to stealth camp. It's just all privately owned, you know, fences everywhere. I could just make camp in one of those available campsites. They got dozens of campsites that nobody's in. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep riding towards Del Rio is where I'm headed. And hopefully I can find somewhere halfway decent before the sun goes down. In spite of my frustration, I was having a damn good time. Shit doesn't really start getting real until you're racing against the clock to find a free place to camp. As inconvenient as it is to proceed this way, especially after an already full day of riding, doing so tends to put you in touch with the primordial aspect of the human experience. All right, I thought for a second I'd be able to camp behind this church, but they got a camera out front, so I'm not gonna chance it. In Texas, the law enforcement can be a little strict. Like I said, everything's fenced off. Everything in this part of Texas is like privately owned ranches and stuff. I guess Uvalde's about 30 minutes south of here. I might go riding through there, see if I can find something out that way. I know what you're thinking. Damn, Joe, you could have just taken the chance and stayed behind that church, or tried to stay at the state park anyway. Well, be that as it may, unless it's by a female of the human species, I really hate getting woken up in the middle of the night. Well, I haven't stayed at one of these in a while. This is outside of a big fairgrounds complex. I've used these before in the past in a couple of different states. It's good when you're in a pinch and the sun's already gone down. You can kind of sneak in late, set up in a spot kind of like that under that tree, which is probably what I'm going to do, and get the hell out of here relatively early. I'm just kind of gonna walk around a little bit and see, maybe there's something better out here. I don't think they have cameras. There's a guy's house like right over there, so I'll have to sort of keep it down. See, now under this right here will be the way. But I don't know if I'm willing to take that chance. I mean, honestly, I don't see any cameras. It would probably be all right. Actually, I've done it somewhere in Colorado. I waited for it to get dark before setting up under the tree in the back. As late as it was, I knew I probably wouldn't be bothered as long as I kept a low profile. All right, well, didn't have the greatest night out here. They kept those bright lights on in the parking lot all night. I really don't sleep very well if there's any light at all, but didn't get bothered. Usually people don't watch these places unless, I guess, it's in a high crime city, in which case it'll probably be locked up for the night. But I've stayed at several of them all across the country, and staying here saved me like 15 bucks, which is what it would have cost at Garner State Park. Anyway, it's about 7:30. I'm gonna go ahead and get this operation packed up. Just gonna be gradually, kind of slowly moving west until I get somewhere out west. New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. I'll leave it for you to decide if the Three Twisted Sisters is really the best ride in Texas. To be completely honest, I have no idea. To be able to say so definitively would involve riding every road in the state, something I have neither the time nor inclination to do. All I can say is that if you plan on staying at Garner State Park, be sure to book that shit in advance. There is, however, another great ride in Texas which I'd be taking in the very near future, so be sure and check that out in the coming videos. In the meantime, the city of Del Rio was calling my name with its incomparable Lake Amistad and gorgeous surrounding wilderness. When I left Uvalde, the temperature was 70 degrees. So as always, if you enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box for anybody that might like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.